Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.
Good morning, third grade. My name is Mrs. Nix, and I am so excited that you're here with me today as I can support you to become amazing thinkers, readers, and writers. So I was cracking up. Have you ever read these Big Nate books? They're hilarious. They're always making me laugh. It's a little comic book inside, and so you've got all sorts of pictures and silly things. This one's called Big Nate Goes Bananas, and it is hilarious. If you're looking for a super fun book like this, you can do that by checking out your books through your local county library, or here in Fresno Unified, go on the app Sora and check out books there, and then you can enjoy all of these silly adventures. All right. The other thing I want to talk about this morning, because it's Friday and we're always looking for fun things to do, right? So these fun activity books are absolutely free. All you need to do to get one of these free activity books is send a note to the address that is popping up on your screen just below me, or you can send me an email, but don't forget to include your address. And you can have one of these. There are all sorts of puzzles and word searches, dot-to-dots and coloring pages, all for you, all for free. Okay, third grade, it's Friday. I hope you've had a fantastic week. I sure have, and I am excited to talk about the last 3 things that we're going to do for this particular week. Okay, today we're going to talk about prefixes and suffixes. We're going to finish up our discussion with open syllables, and then finally do a little bit of comprehension with some homophones. Are you ready to start? Awesome. Let's look at those high frequency words, get our brains, those juices running in our brains today. We've been practicing these words all week, and I know that you know them. So help me read them big and loud. Ready? Let's go. From, full, gave, funny, give, get, goes, go, good, and going. All right. The last words of the week are good, which is G-O-O-D, and going, G-O-I-N-G. Help me use them in a couple of sentences. They are to be late. If they don't, hurry up. Eek. And last night's movie was very, what do you think? Last night's movie was very going? Nah, that doesn't make any sense. Last night's movie was very good. Did you get to watch a movie last night? I didn't either, but maybe tonight. It's Friday night. Let's watch a movie tonight, right? And they are going to be late if they don't hurry up. So we want to make sure that they are there on time. All right, let's go through and talk about some prefixes and suffixes. Now this week we've done a whole bunch of work around adding both prefixes and suffixes to our words. And you remember that a prefix is just a clump of letters, but those letters put at the beginning of a word can change the word's meaning, just like our suffixes can do the same. They're just a group of letters that added to a word can change the word's meaning. Now this week, our prefixes that we practiced, we did re, which means again, and un, which means not. As far as suffixes this week, we practiced ly, L-Y, which means in a certain way. We practiced full, which means full of, and able, which is capable or able to. Okay, let's practice building some words today. So our base words are right here in the middle. We've got thought, happy, and fill. All of these words can stand alone. They don't need a prefix or a suffix, but we're going to add those prefixes and suffixes and kind of change the meanings of our words. So here is thought, and if we wanted to add maybe a suffix to the end, if someone is full of thought, they're a very thoughtful person, we can add F-U-L. Now they are a very thoughtful person, but maybe they're not a thoughtful person. Can we change them? Can we change this word? Can we add something to make it mean that they're not thoughtful? Yes, right here we can add a prefix and we can say that they are unthoughtful. That was a very unthoughtful thing to do to make them not be a thoughtful person, right? Okay, how about happy? Now happy, I can add the suffix ly, and that tells me how something's done. So I could be talking about the way that my daughter did her homework. She did it very happily. Now, I do have to change my y to an I before I add my ly, so I have a little trick right there where I can add that in. So happily, she happily did her homework. Okay, let's just be real. Did my daughter happily do it? Probably not. She probably unhappily completed her homework. So look how easy it was to change the whole meaning of the word. Okay, here's one that's fill. Now let's think about our cups of water. If we can fill our cup of water, we would say that our cup of water is fillable. Now, if we filled it one time, maybe we wanted to fill it again, we could add the prefix and we could say, whoops, I just dropped that whole thing. We could say that it is refillable. The cup is refillable. It means we can go back over and over again and fill it over multiple times. So again, just talking about those prefixes and suffixes, this is something that you would be able to do on your own to help build your vocabulary. Try putting some prefixes on pieces of paper, some suffixes on pieces of paper, and maybe ask the adults in your home to come up with some base words, or you can come up with some base words and write them on there and then practice moving them around. That's going to help you become a better reader and writer. All right, let's move over and talk about some syllables. Now, when we come to words that are often multisyllabic, we start thinking to ourselves, how do I chunk it into smaller bite-sized pieces so that I can sound them out? Well, here's a great thing that you're able to do. You can break it into syllables. Now, you have to remember a couple of things. Syllables have one vowel sound in every syllable. Okay, so that's a great place to start. Let's start by finding our syllables. So if I have this word here, and I'm not going to say it out loud, I know you know it, that's okay, but here is a vowel, A-E-I-O-U. I've got an I and an E, so I'm going to mark it with a V for vowel, and in between those two vowels, I have one consonant. So I'm going to put a C for consonant, and anytime I have this vowel, consonant, vowel pattern, I'm going to split my syllables right between the first vowel and that consonant. Now, when that vowel is by itself, that's what's called an open syllable, and our vowel is going to say its name. It's a long vowel. So we have in our first syllable here, spy, and then here's our closed syllable. It's got a consonant at the end, so der. So spider is our word. Let's do it again. Let's find our vowels, A and E. So how many syllables are we going to have in this word? 2, because we have 2 vowel sounds, right? Okay, so I'm going to say vowel and vowel. What's in the middle? I've got a consonant. Where do I split it? Right in front of that consonant. I've got an open syllable because there's no consonant after this vowel, so this vowel says its name. So lay, bull, label. Excellent. Okay, last one. Find our vowels here. I've got 2 of them, I and E. So I've got vowel, vowel. I've got a consonant right here in the middle. I'm going to split it. Are you starting to see the pattern? And we've got tiger. 3rd grade, you are fantastic. Now, today is Friday, so this is the day where we take a little bit of time and we get to read a story. Now, I hope that this is one that you enjoy. I thought it was kind of fun. We're finishing up winter, we're moving into spring, but as we look back on our winter months, this one talks about winter preparations, and maybe we can keep those in mind for next year, or as those storms are kind of finishing off, because I always feel like we get a little bit of a storm coming up. Now, we've got open syllables, closed syllables, all of the things, the prefixes and suffixes. You're going to see a whole bunch of stuff in here today, and I want you to just practice reading with me. All right, winter preparations. Let's go. In the northern parts of the United States, winter brings icy temperatures. The freeze can last for months. Families that live in the north where wintry weather is worst are familiar with actions they must take to winterize their homes. They make preparations before the arrival of the cold snap. Safety comes first. One thing to prepare for is a power outage. A powerful flashlight with replacement batteries will be useful. A wood stove or fireplace can heat the house if the heater isn't working. Use an extra comforter on the bed. The electric blanket will not keep you comfortable if the electricity goes out. Make sure your household is prepared when a bad storm gets worse. When it comes to safety, you do not want to be standing out in the cold. Awesome job, third grade. So, did you see some of those suffixes and prefixes that we were working on? I saw a couple of them. I'm going to just put a little line right here. I saw useful and I saw replacement. Okay, so they're doing it again. So just think about it as you're reading your stories maybe tonight and sharing them with your families. It's a great way to just practice some of your adventures. Maybe you want to write down some ways that you can be prepared for your storms that are coming up. Okay, let's finish up. We're going to talk about homophones. And what do we always do when we see that word homophone? Did you put your fingers up to your ears like this and make it like a phone? Good job, because what are we practicing? The sounds, right? Has nothing to do with what the word looks like. So here is a homophone. We've got seen and seen. They both sound the same, right? Seen and seen. You don't know which one I'm talking about until I look at it in a sentence. So let's look. Have you ever seen a person plug in a car? Okay, so what kind of seen is S-E-E-N? I've got some choices down here. Does it mean plugged in? No, neither one of them mean plugged in. So this is just that trickery one that they're trying to fool us. So I'm going to move it out of the way. How about this one? Looked at with one's eyes. Ooh, that is what we were talking about. Have you ever seen it with your own eyes? So what is this scene? S-C-E-N-E. It means the place where something happens. All right. Fantastic job, third graders. I am so excited I got to hang out with you today on this lovely Friday. And I just want to say thanks for hanging with me as you're getting ready for school. Remember, you're responsible for your learning success. So listen, ask questions, and share your ideas, because together we can do so much more. Have a wonderful and safe weekend. I look forward to seeing you back here on Monday at PBS. Take care. Bye-bye.
A brand new